Karl Marx's Das Kapital is accessible and it's entertaining, and I'm tired of people pretending it's not. Anyone who tells you that it's boring or dry hasn't read the book, and yes, I'm looking at you, Thomas Piketty. Marx was a propagandist in addition to being an economist because he's a really engaging, interesting writer, and that shows in this book. There's a whole bunch of literary references from Shakespeare everywhere to Don Quixote. He even uses Revelations 13 to compare it to money, saying, "No one can buy or sell without this mark of the beast being upon them," is a really fun and accessible way to get his ideas across. He can also be tremendously catty when he's taking on other economists that he really disagrees with. He absolutely takes on John Stuart Mill and this English economist named William Nassau Sr., who was against child labor laws of 10 years old because he thought that it would reduce the profit margin, is absolutely eviscerated by Marx in a really catty, bitchy, and entertaining way. This is in a seminal economic text. It doesn't have to be dry. Now, lots smarter people than me have taken on the labor theory of value and poked a few holes, from Veblen goods to the deterioration rate of capital not being the exact same rate as the rate at which it produces value. But I think overall, as an understanding of how labor gets produced into capital, it still holds up in broad form. And I think the really important thing about Das Kapital is Marx's analysis of just how ruthless and horrible capitalism is. Marx was analyzing the system when it first got started up, when children as young as 6, 7, 8 were crawling between the looms because they were small enough to fit and getting maimed and horribly disfigured. The pottery system and all the chemicals and horrors, all the lung diseases and poverty and malnutrition that was caused by the societal upheaval is all there for you to see displayed. Marx's point about capitalism being a race to the bottom is still a really trenchant analysis. You have an innovation and you start to make a profit on that, but pretty soon your competitors are using that same innovation and goods are getting cheaper, but you're paying people less because they have less to do because more is enraptured in capitalism, and it just creates this immiseration of everyone, which Marx witnesses firsthand, and he has all of these figures and numbers to prove it, which again are presented in a really accessible, easy to use way, even if you aren't really big into math. Of course, some of it's going to feel dated, from his analysis of carboniferous foods to his hope that, hey, people will see how horrible this is and will rise up and create a new system. Well, that was a very optimistic proposal, but I think overall it's a really, really good classic text, and I think classics are classics for a reason. A lot of them are a lot more entertaining, accessible, and interesting than you're led to believe. So read Das Kapital, but also